Good evening and welcome to Newsline, your Sunday tonic and timeless passport into the soul of Nigeria. Tonight, as the stars quietly claim the skies and the night settles in, we gather here on the network service, not just for news headlines, but to share human stories. I mean stories of triumph, struggle, stories of laughter and tears. Now, these are stories that shape who we really are. So this evening, we'll peek behind the scenes of Aba's bustling commerce. We'll also reflect on the quiet pressures graduation, places on parents. And of course, we'll also meet the young lady whose story quietly inspires. And of course, we will revisit the age-old question, certificates or skills, who truly holds the key? So Newsline remains our village square, you know what I mean, where moonlight tales are retold and the pages of courage, resilience and hope continue to unfold. And as always, I'm your pilot-in-chief, navigating the Newsline airways, charting the course through the news and Newsline proper. So please get comfortable, and I shall be back shortly with the news. And it's a sad day for the Nigeria Police, and indeed for Nigeria, as former Inspector General of Police and immediate past Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Dr. Solomon Arase, passes on. Francis Form reports that Dr. Arase died in the early hours of Sunday, August the 31st, 2025.
Former Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase, born on the 21st of June 1956 in Owan West local government area of Edo State, he attended Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where he earned his first degree in political science. He later obtained a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Benin, a master's degree in law from the University of Lagos, and a PhD in public law from the Ambrose Ali University, Okobo, Edo State. He was enlisted into the Nigeria Police Force on the 1st of December 1981. During the course of his illustrious policing career, IGP Arase served in various capacities, including Principal Staff Officer to 3 IGPs between 2002 to 2008, Commissioner of Police in Akwa Ibom State, Pioneer Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Force Intelligence Bureau, and DIG Force Criminal Investigations Department, respectively. He was appointed the 18th Indigenous Inspector General in April 2015 and retired on the 21st of June 2016. He was thereafter appointed the Chairman of Police Service Commission on the 24th of January 2023 by late President Muhammadu Buhari, a post which he held until the 10th of June 2024. He is also a Fellow of the Defense College and a member of the prestigious body of benches. During his tenure as the Inspector General of Police, Arase exemplified the highest standards of professionalism, bravery, and leadership, while his contribution to national security and police reform continue to resonate within the force and beyond. His passing is not just a culmination of a remarkable chapter, but a moment of collective mourning of a man who served with pride and honor. Many say, through the Solomon Egiato Arase Foundation, he supported academic excellence by awarding scholarship to outstanding Nigerian students, with particular focus on children of deceased police officers and indigent students. The memory of late IGP Arase will forever remain etched in the hearts of the force and the country he so faithfully served. Francis Form, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Police Affairs, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, on behalf of the police ecosystem, has condoled with the family of the late former Inspector General of Police and former Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Dr. Solomon Arase. In a statement, Senator Yadum extended sympathy to the government and people of Nigeria, particularly Edo State, describing Arase's death as a huge loss to the nation and the police institution. He notes that the late Arase made remarkable contributions to national security, including his role in safeguarding lives and property, and also his collaboration with the ministry to ensure a transparent 2024 police constable recruitment exercise. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kadi Egbetokun, paid a condolence visit to the family in Abuja. He described Arase as a distinguished officer whose professionalism and reforms strengthened policing in Nigeria. He adds that the late IGP will also be remembered for his humanitarian efforts through the Solomon Arase Foundation, which supported children of fallen officers and indigent students. And sympathizers gathered at the home of the late former Inspector General of Police, Dr. Solomon Arase, earlier today to offer their condolences on his passing. Our correspondent Joseph Otseng reports that many remember the former IGP not just as a gentleman officer who transformed the Nigeria Police Force, but also as a kind and humble man whose influence and warmth touched everyone around him.
Just a shocking news, but a deeply sad one for them.
We had prayed and hoped that God would heal him and make him better. But God has done only what he can do because he's the author and finisher of life.
Relatives, serving and retired police officers, as well as close associates, trooped to the residence of the late former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, to console his family. In their tributes, they describe him as a true patriot.
When he led the Nigerian police contingent to Namibia, international peacekeeping operations, and he excelled.
Nigeria had lost a patriot. While he was there, there was cohesion. We worked together. That division was in there. That bitterness was in there. The police was one strong organization at that time. And his commitment to the national interest was never in doubt.
Solomon Arase served the nation in various capacities before becoming Nigeria's 18th Inspector General of Police in 2015, a position he held until retirement in 2016. In 2023, former President Muhammadu Buhari appointed him chairman of the Police Service Commission, where he championed key reforms that strengthened the Nigerian police force. In Abuja, Joseph Otseng, NTA.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu expresses sadness over the passing of Bishop Francis Emmanuel Okobo, the pioneer bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Nsukka. He was aged 88 years. Bishop Okobo was ordained to the priesthood in 1966 at 29 and served as a priest for 54 years. Following his episcopal ordination in 1991, he served as the local ordinary of the Nsukka Diocese for 34 years. The president commiserates with Bishop Okobo's family, the Catholic faithful of Nsukka Diocese, and the people and government of Enugu State on the demise of this shepherd of the flock. He prays for the peaceful repose of the revered clergyman's soul. And the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has been guided at all times by the principles of fairness, justice and equity in the distribution of federal government projects, appointments and opportunities across all 6 geopolitical zones across the country. The minister in a statement says the current administration has demonstrated a common commitment to balanced development and inclusivity since assuming office. The distribution of capital projects under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is equitable and that no region is playing a second fiddle or ignored. In addition to projects by various ministries, departments and agencies, the statement adds that all 6 regions now have regional development commissions to kickstart development efforts. He equally highlighted the Coastal Highway as a legacy project in the south, the Badagry-Sokoto Highway in the north, among major infrastructure interventions simultaneously ongoing across the Federation, including highways and bridges, rail and power projects. The administration has also secured funding for light rail projects in Kano and Kaduna states to the tune of 150 billion naira and 100 billion naira respectively. The Metro Line project in Lagos and Ogun states are part of the government's effort to develop Nigeria's light rail infrastructure collectively. These projects are expected to create over 250,000 jobs nationwide. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not only kept faith with Nigerians, but has also proven himself to be a fair, pragmatic, and consequential reformer whose leadership is inclusive, his vision is unifying, and his commitment to equity and justice is unwavering. Minister Idris urged Nigerians to rest assured that under the watch of President Tinubu, no part of the country will be left behind. And Chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. Michael Odi, has announced winners of the just concluded local council election in Rivers State at the Commission's head office in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajuri reports that All Progressives Party, APC, won in 20 local government areas, while the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, won 3 of the 23 local government areas of the state.
Out of the 23 local government councils, the All Progressives Congress, APC, won in 20 local governments, while the People's Democratic Party, PDP, won in 3 local governments.
The chairman for Okobo local government is Dr. It Onime. He's the chairman for Okobo local government. He's got 328,853 votes.
The results also show that the APC and the PDP won all the councillorship seats in the respective local government areas where they were declared winners as the council chairman. The chairman of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. Ode, also informed the public that certificates of return will be presented to the winners on Monday, September 1, 2025. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And beyond their core business goals, corporate organizations are often expected to give back to the community they serve. Globacom, through its Glow Foundation, has once again demonstrated this commitment. In Ondo State, the foundation extends a helping hand to new mothers at the State Specialist Hospital in Akure, thereby easing financial pressures and also contributing to the health and well-being of both mother and newborns. Lynn Lineke was there.
Birthing a new life into the world can be both a joyous and challenging experience, with motherhood often accompanied by financial, emotional, and physical constraints. Glow Foundation recently eased a bit of this challenge by supporting 35 new mothers at the Ondo State Specialist Hospital in Akure, paying their delivery costs, presenting boxes of diapers and other baby items to them.
Akure has benefited from this. One of our staff came up with this great initiative to support pregnant women with delivery and other items that goes with it. There are other initiatives that has been carried out across the country, and of course, we have seen a lot of success stories. So this is the first of its kind in Akure. There will be many more to come across the state and across other regions as we go along.
Part of our giving back to the society, which GLOW stands for. GLOW is the first indigenous telecommunication in the country, and this is what we do to be able to take our people and also to let them know that we are with them all the way.
The beneficiaries describe GLOW Foundation's support as God-sent, a gesture that has brought them immense relief joy and heartfelt gratitude during a bittersweet moment in their life.
People, for what you people did today, and I really appreciate you people for the gift that you gave me today.
Glow Foundation efforts in alleviating financial burdens underscores the impact of thoughtful gestures, serving as a powerful symbol of care and solidarity while demonstrating a commitment in nurturing the well-being of families and communities across Nigeria. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
And the 13th and first female vice president of Colombia, Francia Marquez, has expressed admiration for Nigeria's women creative will, resilience, and religious harmony, as well as unity. She made the remarks during her visit to Nigeria as part of a broader tour of selected African countries aimed at connecting with her roots and strengthening bilateral ties in areas of trade, youth development, and women's empowerment. Ngozi Technique was there.
The Colombian Vice President, Francia Marquez, who is in Nigeria for a 3-day visit, expressed delight at stepping onto the soil where her ancestors were taken in chains due to the slave trade and colonialism, now as a free and dignified citizen of black descent. Led by the Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, her first point of call was the National Mosque, where she was warmly received by key personalities. She then visited the nearby National Christian Center, symbolizing unity and religious harmony. The entourage proceeded to the Mariam Babangida National Center for Women Development, where they toured the Nigerian Women Hall of Fame. The Vice President unveiled a plaque inducting the Minister of Women Affairs into the Hall of Fame. This was followed by a visit to Nike Art Gallery, where art, craft, and culture showcased Nigerians' vibrant creative spirit. The Colombian Vice President, her husband, and the minister were honored and crowned with different traditional titles.
The Nigerian woman is not just phenomenal, but she's a dependable ally. Leveraging on this, tomorrow we're going to sit so that we can forge meaningful partnerships.
It takes up to 40 hours just to connect both our continents directly, which is indeed a barrier to our cooperation and closer trade ties. We therefore need to strengthen the airline connections between both our continents.
The visit continues tomorrow with engagements between members of the two countries. In Abuja, Ngozi Technique, NTA News.
And the Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Kayode Opefa, has apologized to the Nigerian Union of Journalists, FCT chapter, over verbal assaults on a female journalist from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Ladi Bala, and NTA management while on location of the last Tuesday train derailment soon after departure from Abuja to Kaduna. Opefa regretted his unprofessional conduct and use of offensive words on the journalist that provoked reactions and condemnations from different quarters.
Like I said, there is no point repeating the incident than to say I tender an unreserved apology not only to Comrade Ladi that was directly impacted, but also to the organization she represents, that is NTA, and to the NUJ, FCT, and the bigger NUJ as well, and to NAOJ.
So once again, NUJ, FCT, we have zero tolerance for intimidation of journalists. And an injury to one is an injury to all. The media has been agog because of this unfortunate incident, and we hope that others will also follow suit.
Ladi Bala, Manager News and Current Affairs and Transport Correspondent of the NCA, who endured a humiliating treatment during the incident, has since moved on, considering the experience as one of the hazards of the job. And as the fight against illicit substance continues, a 75-year-old man was arrested among 6 other suspects with illicit substances by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in parts of Anambra State. Just as the Anti-Narcotic Agency also intercepted tramadol capsules in fuel tanker heading to Borno State. We have details of these and more with Salwa Khalil Ibrahim.
The 75-year-old man was arrested with 26.7 kilograms of skunk in Anambra State, along with 5 others who were caught with various quantities of opioids. In Taraba State, a 30-year-old man was arrested with a Dane gun during a raid on his 71.5 hectare of cannabis farm, where 178.750 kilograms of skunk were destroyed. NDLEA operatives intercepted 104,900 capsules of tramadol concealed in a fuel tanker heading to Borno State, and a suspect was taken into custody. Additionally, a major supplier of illicit opioids was arrested in Borno State, and 30,640 pills of tramadol, 7,940 tablets of Rofinol, and 7,999,200 naira were recovered from his apartment. There are also interdictions in Nasarawa, Lagos, Gombe, Adamawa, Kano, Edo, and Ondo State during the week under review. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And for more on sports, Bade, today we've seen 8 matches so far in the Nigeria Premier League, isn't it?
Yes, quite interesting results that we got from the MPFL, Claire. All right, let's begin with this news about the 2026 FIFA World Cup, as the Amavubi Stars of Rwanda are being expected in Nigeria on Tuesday ahead of the crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Nigeria. And of course, a one-man advance party will be in Lagos on Monday, but the full delegation will land in Lagos on Tuesday afternoon and proceed to Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Saturday's showdown at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium comes 5 months and 2 weeks after the Super Eagles defeated the Amavubi 2-0 in the latter's home ground in Kigali in a match-day 5 encounter. Of course, let's let you know that Ikorodu City were held to a goalless draw by visiting El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri in a match-day 2 encounter of the Nigeria Premier Football League in Lagos. And of course, the result means it's now 3 draws in 5 recent meetings between both clubs. Olumide Guntola reports that all efforts from both sides to grab the 3 points available at the Mobolaji Johnson Sports Arena proved abortive, as both teams had to settle for a share of the spoils.
Boys, and if you look at my team too, they are young. That's why we are able to match them. I know the intensity, the way they play. And to be sincere, I expect that if you have 1 or 2 chances, we bury it and pick our 3 points and concentrate on that. Unfortunately, the thing changed, but despite that, I think this 1 point is a very good point from my side.
Now let's let you know about other results in other centers across the country, as Bayelsa United continued their positive start to the new season as they recorded a 2-0 victory over newly promoted Barau FC. Another team on the front foot are newly promoted Warri Wolves, as the Seasiders won their second game of the season against Enugu Rangers with a comfortable 2-0 win. In Jos, Katsina United put their disappointing season-opening defeat to newly promoted Warri Wolves behind as they held on to a 2-1 win against Plateau United. And straight to the English Premier League, where reigning champions Liverpool maintained their 100% start to the new season, securing the late winner in a keenly contested clash against Arsenal at Anfield. It took a spectacular 83rd minute Dominic Szoboszlai free kick to take them to the top of the table with 9 points from 3 games. Meanwhile, Manchester City have found themselves under early pressure after Pep Guardiola's side suffered their second defeat of the season in a 2-1 loss at Brighton. Elsewhere, it was a huge relief to Graham Potter as West Ham United bounced back from 2 defeats to stun Nottingham Forest 3-0 at City Ground. with the last match of the night between Aston Villa and, of course, their opponents, Crystal Palace, ending in favor of Crystal Palace. And, of course, that does it on Sports Tonight. Let's now return to Claire.
I thought you would have said one or two things about the match with Arsenal. I didn't get to watch anyway. but
Claire,
yeah.
It wasn't the day for the Gunners. And, of course, Liverpool, at the end of the day, they just had to score when it mattered.
It's all right. Thank you, and we wish the Super Eagles the best of luck. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, let's sports and check the weather forecast for the rest of the country on Monday.
Welcome. We'll kick things off with mostly cloudy start across the country. However, a few areas, particularly Sokoto, Kebbi, Plateau, and Niger State, could see some light rain showers and isolated thunderstorms early in the morning. As we move into late morning and early afternoon, parts of the northeastern states will experience isolated thunderstorms, which is expected to gradually push towards the northwestern region of the country. If you're in the central states and parts of the southeastern region, moderate rainfall are likely, especially during the evening hours. And that's your weather update. Thank you for watching.
And that's the news from here. So fasten your seatbelts. Newsline is about to take off in a moment. All right, welcome to the network service of the NTA, the station with the reach that cannot be beaten. So how does a nation build a $1 trillion economy? Trillion naira question, you may say. Well, many would point to complex policies, ambitious targets, and years of sustained efforts. But on this fateful day in Ebonyi State, two of Nigeria's leaders offered a much simpler, more human answer, one not found in any policy document. Minister of Information Mohammed Idris and Governor Francis Miforo of Ebonyi State surprised the locals there when they bent down to lift heavy baskets of fish for struggling sellers in a community market. And in that very moment, they bridged the gap between leadership and ordinary citizens, reminding us that true economic transformation begins with human connection and support at the grassroots. Here is Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, who was there to witness it all.
Afolu is one of the popular communities located along the ongoing Trans-Saharan Superhighway connecting Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, Benue, Nasarawa to the Federal Capital Territory. The people of Afolu, particularly the women, have demonstrated the spirit of hard work as they take advantage of the Afolu River and its natural endowment to venture into fish business. It was difficult to showcase the fish market in the community because I was in the convoy of the federal government delegation being led by the governor of Ebonyi State. A few meters away from the community, the convoy had a stopover to inspect the Afolu River Bridge that is under construction by the federal government. Then, the ever-resilient women of Afolu, with the support of the president of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Ike Neliaku, who was among the entourage, defied the thick security and came face to face with the governor and the leader of the federal government delegation, Minister of Information and National Orientation. Though locally processed, their eyes could not go off the well-prepared smoked fish waiting for potential customers.
Don't worry.
Pricing settled. They demanded more, and the women brought all the fish in their store.
This is 30. Yes, sir. That is 210. Hey, you want me to get another one?
Even as a journalist, I joined in calculating the sales of the women of Afolu from these unexpected and uncommon customers. When Governor Francis Nwefuru made payments, It was an uncommon payment with a long-time reward that practically showcased that to build $1 trillion economy is not a magic or fiction, but by demonstrating the can-do spirit in our endeavors.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
This is indeed local economy in progress. The $1 trillion economy, like we say, is not going to drop from heaven. It is little trickles. But what the women of the Ebonyi State are doing here, you can see all of them engaging in trading. The men will go and get the fish, and the women will prepare it to dry fish here. Very nice delicacy. I tasted this in the morning. It's so sweet, and we will buy this one and take it home. Thank you, Excellency, for being generous. We have seen some that you have already bought for the entourage. We'll also buy more and add so that we will go home. And next time, when we remember this fish, we'll come back and come and inspect this bridge and buy more fish from you. This is a very nice delicacy, and thank you. I want to thank this woman. Now, thank you for what you are doing. You are engaging in what President Bola Tinubu is saying. Engage in trade. Take advantage of what President is doing. When you need facility, contact your MSME offices in Abakaliki. The governor has a department for that. It will support you.
The women could not appreciate the team less, as they do not only have the opportunity to meet the governor and the minister without going through protocols, but they have enough capital to boost their fish trade, which they cannot access even as a loan from any financial institution because of the size of their businesses. For security reasons, I will not disclose how much the women were paid extra, but there was an assurance that with what they have received, whenever you find yourself in Afikpo, there will be more smoked fish available.
God will bless you, our President Bola Tinubu, for his support.
At the end, each car in the convoy was given a stick of the smoked fish to add to the menu while the inspection of federal government project lasts.
I have so many things to say about this story, but I'll just keep some to myself. But Salihu, remember, if you see something, say something. All right. And to the Honorable Minister and the Governor, that is really stepping out of, policy and documents and meeting the people at their very roots. Thank you. So let's move on now to the bustling markets, where creative drive of local entrepreneurs, of course, is sizzling with energy. And we're talking about Arase business. The city, often described as the commercial heartbeat of the Southeast, which thrives on innovation, resilience, and of course a spirit of survival that has earned it a reputation as a hub for commerce. But beyond the noise of crowded stores and the clamor of thriving enterprises lies the real question. What keeps Arase business owners going in such a competitive environment? And that's what Nneka takes us, on her extraordinary journey to the lives of these people with extraordinary ideas who are unlocking strategies that not only sustain their businesses, but also inspire hope, create jobs, and shape the future of entrepreneurship in Nigeria.
From the bustling Arase international markets to emerging tech hubs and creative startups, Arase business heartbeat is loud, steady, and unmistakable. Here, entrepreneurs are rewriting the rules, blending age-long commerce with modern strategies to reach far beyond their borders. Amid the vibrant display of goods, one wonders what their secrets to standing out in such fierce competition. These aren't shoppers on the move. They are mannequins, skillfully arranged to catch the eye. Their impact remarkably effective.
It's through this mannequin that people can see our product and know how fitted it can be to their body, and also
how good it can be for the people that are buying and selling as well.
This how I'm carrying it on head, people can see it far away. In a day, I can say like 30, 40, 50.
Still curious why Aba is called the Japan of Africa? Step into its production hub where the magic of the vision of labor comes alive. In minutes, you can walk away with a perfectly tailored outfit or a complete set of bedding all created before your eyes. I am wearing this hoodie made for me in just 20 minutes after I arrived.
You can produce more than 5,000 pieces a day.
In a day like this, I can even produce like 100 sets of duvets.
I won't buy 150 pieces. If I just say this one finish, I need to buy more than 500 pieces.
But speed isn't their only asset. Innovation is another powerful driver of Aba's success.
To maintain that standard as Japan of Africa. So things that attract them coming down to us in Aba, no matter how far is our quality, we maintain a quality that they can compete with other foreign countries.
For these business owners, the winning formula isn't luck. It's a deliberate mix of creativity, resilience, and strategic foresight. It's a combination that keeps Aba firmly ahead in Nigeria's ever-evolving commercial landscape.
Aba. All right. At the heart of every rising structure are men whose sweat and strength often go unnoticed. Day after day, construction laborers lift heavy blocks, mix cement, and climb fragile scaffolds under the scorching sun, earning just enough to keep body and soul together. Now, for these men, the construction site is a workplace, a battleground for survival, where resilience and sacrifice meet the uncertainty of tomorrow. Now, their daily toil builds the cities we live in, yet their faces struggle remain largely unseen. Now, Ifeoma Ndokole takes us into the world of these unsung builders, capturing the human story behind the walls and towers that shape our skylines.
Every rising building carries an untold story. The story of men who literally hold the foundations of our homes, schools, churches, and offices together. For many construction workers, the site is not just a workplace, but a battlefield for survival, where strength is their only capital, and each day's pay determines tomorrow's meal. At one of the construction sites in Umuahia, Abia State, some of the laborers whose lives tell stories of endurance and strength recounted their struggles and achievements.
I'm a carpenter. This is 1977. My last daughter has finished a varsity, going to do the master.
I have built my own. I have tenant house, up to 7, up to 4. Okay. I still have other plans for it. I have wife and children.
The daily pay received by these laborers vary from 8 to 15,000 naira, depending on the task. While these may appear fair on the surface, the irregularity of the work, the physical toil, and lack of insurance or retirement benefits cast a shadow on their struggles.
Because they are not safety conscious, they are always faced with the risk of, trip and fall, falling from heights, like some construction towers, where the surveyors are, you have the tower survey points. From such towers, because all these artisans don't even understand the procedure. They can trip and fall from there, and it causes them death. Some, it will maim them for life.
Despite the progress made while working at the construction site, some admitted they would leave if they see another opportunity, as the work takes a lot of strength and it becomes more difficult to cope at old age.
However, I will not continue this job because I'm a graduate. The work is not enough for me and my daughters.
I have did this job too much. I'm in labor for the job.
Stakeholders therefore agree that government should enforce labor safety laws to safeguard the lives of these laborers and hold construction firms accountable for the welfare of their workers.
Governments have been doing a bit on the on-site to make sure that people at the lower ebb, even the artisans are insured. Is it Workers' Compensation Act, ECA, of 2010? They mandated employers that have at least 5 persons in their employment to insure them. So this law, I think, needs to be followed strictly.
For these men, each day's pay represents hope, yet also reminds them of the fragility of their livelihood.
Now imagine working tirelessly for a top-of-the-class certificate, expecting it to open doors automatically. Now, top grades, a shining certificate, pride in the classroom. Had it all. But landing a job, that's a different story. Her friend, however, who focused on graphic design, is now running a thriving business of her own. Now, this contrast tells a story many young Nigerians know all too well. In a world powered by technology and results, skills often speak louder than certificates. Employers increasingly prize what people can't do rather than what they have on paper. So where does real value lie? In the certificate or in the skill? Zenret Dengmung brings us an interesting perspective.
Over time, the traditional school certificate has been regarded as the first step towards a successful career. But with the overwhelming number of graduates flooding the job market every year, perspectives are shifting. Today, it is no longer just about what you know, but how well you can apply that knowledge. This has sparked a debate across board. More and more success stories show that certificates and skills are not rivals, but partners. Take, for instance, Ochanya Agbo, a lawyer whose legal training gave her the foundation to build thriving entrepreneurial ventures, or Adeoye Adenariwo, an accountant who doubles as a fashion designer, blending business acumen with creativity to expand his brand. For them, the certificate opened the door, but it was their skills that became their greatest assets.
Having that education, having that training, it makes you operate your business differently. The way you package your business, the way you package yourself, the way you plan for your business is different because, intellectually, your mind and your thinking is different from that of someone that, hasn't gotten those certifications.
While I was still doing my 9 to 5, at the point I got exhausted. So at that initial stage, trying to get into the market, you have to start with how to market yourself, how to manage your customers. That's where your academic experience comes in.
Even within academia, this reality is taking root. Professor Samuel Ogundiran, a seasoned educationist, believes passion is the true driver of success. In his words, a certificate and a skill are like two sides of the same coin.
So there are some compulsory skill, entrepreneurial subjects they must take and pass at their O levels before they can gain admission to the university. I mean, for you to learn something, and that if you don't have any means of going further, so the little that you have learned, even in the secondary school, you can now put it together, sit down, and see how you can set up something and live your own life.
In response to this changing demand, the federal government has relaunched the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET program, designed to produce graduates who are not only educated, but practically skilled to meet the needs of industry.
So what we're doing with this TVET program, we're only going to give them 20% of their time will be on didactics. 80% will be spent on practical skills. They will be at those centers. So by the time they are done, they're very, very well trained. They're confident in their abilities that they've gotten good skills.
The message is clear. The future belongs to those who can combine the what with the how, turning knowledge into action.
I agree. But let me just ask you a question. Assuming 4.8 million is mistakenly credited to your account, what would you do? Well, for someone like Faiza Abdulkadrim, who is a mother of 5 from Gwangi Ward and a cleaner, she chose integrity over temptation. Despite struggling to raise her children on a modest income of 30,000 naira, she returned the sum of 4.8 million naira that did not belong to her to its rightful owner in Kebbi State. Now, her remarkable gesture touched many hearts, including that of Dr. Falmata Babagana Umar Zulum, wife of the Borno State Governor. So, Faiza's story stands as a powerful reminder that even in the face of hardship, honesty remains priceless. Let's hear her story from Tina Toro.
In an era where trust is scarce and honesty but a shadow, lives a woman who chose right over wrong and a good name over riches by returning a whooping sum of 4.8 million naira mistakenly sent to her bank account by someone from Kebbi State. Faiza, a cleaner at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, who earns a salary of 30,000 naira monthly, with which she caters for her needs and that of her family, did what others may seem unthinkable, choosing to return the money in her possession after contacting the bank.
As soon as I got to the bank, I connected him with the customer care after narrating to them about the strange phone call and the money in my account. The bank interrogated him to ascertain if he is the real owner of the money.
The caller, who claims to be the owner, pleaded with her to reverse the transaction.
When I received that phone call, my heart skipped a beat, and hearing him speak about such a huge amount of money sitting in my account sent me into panic mode, and his insistence I leave whatever I was doing to go to the bank and reverse the transaction left me disoriented as I was filled with fear.
This honorable act endeared Faiza to the wife of the Borno State Governor, Dr. Falmata Umar Zulum, who gifted her the sum of 1 million naira in a lavish ceremony. Faiza, however, believes that doing the right thing is far better than gold.
Faiza recently demonstrated a remarkable act of honesty. Faiza rushed to her bank, reported the incident, and immediately provided the account details of the sender so that the money could be returned in full.
washe garin na uku ya sake kira na wai yanzu dinan kuɗi ya shiga na bar miki 10,000 nace wallahi na riga na guminka ba na riga na yafi.
3 days after the money hit his account, he called me to confirm receiving the money, saying he has left me 10,000 naira in appreciation of my honesty. But I told him I didn't need his money, as I did it in good faith, as anyone with the fear of Allah would do.
Faiza's bravery and courage to do the right thing has etched her name in gold. While some may see it as a missed opportunity, her action is a reminder that there are still good people in the world.
Fantastic. Well done, Faiza. You're watching Newsline. Let's quickly take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we'll take you to the ancient town of Nnewi in Anambra State, where indigenes and visitors converged for the 2025 Afolu Festival. It's a yearly celebration that has for centuries reflected the people's rich cultural identity and agricultural pride. Now this year's edition, I beg your pardon, is supported by live continental beer of the Nigerian Breweries PLC, which provided a platform for dance, music, and masquerade displays, and also rekindled family ties and strengthened community bonds. Ngozi Kekaro reports that for participants, the 2025 Afolu Festival was indeed a lifetime experience.
Grand entrance of the Marketing Director, Nigerian Breweries PLC, Sarah Aga, and cutting of ribbon for the Tall Yam Pyramid, first of its kind in the history of Afolu and celebrations of Yam as king of all crops in Igbo land, set the tone for the auspicious event, which aims to amplify the festival's tradition.
Life Beer is one of the leading beer brands in our portfolio, and Life champions the Igbo culture. Life believes that the Igbo culture is beautiful and should be celebrated, and to make sure that people all over the world hear about this festival.
We're here to support the Afolu festival in Nnewi, and it shows that when Life Lager Beer says that they celebrate our tradition, they celebrate our resilience, our enterprise as people from the eastern part of Nigeria, that they really mean what they say.
We put what we have been doing here to Nnewi to make sure that Life still sustains what they have been doing.
Symbolic New Yam cooking competition keenly contested by Nnewi 4 villages with emotions high saw Umudim emerge winner with the sum of 2 million naira first cash prize and first runner-up Otolo receiving 1.5 million naira, while second and third runners-up Nnewichi and Urago got 750,000 naira and 500,000 naira respectively. Anambra State Government and Nnewi community applaud Life Continental Lager Beer for the support engendered by long-standing relationship between them and the brand.
The governor's message at this occasion is to commend Nnewi people for holding on to their culture. Government of Anambra State has always been in attendance annually at this event, and particularly because culture is at the forefront of what we're promoting in this government.
I must thank the organizers of this edition because they have done so very well. They have done so much. This is the first of its kind since the beginning of since the inception of Afolu. And I must thank Nigerian Brewery Life for their assistance, for their support to make this occasion a great one. And I pray that their business will continue to flourish.
Holding last August every year to showcase a record harvest, the massive event makers enjoyed free drinks, gifts, and entertainments with rich Igbo cultural displays, with cameras clicking amidst cheers.
I love this, and these are the type of things we should begin to export. Nigeria has a very rich cultural heritage. And did you see the Yam Pyramid? All right, now let's go to Kano. Every language carries the soul of a people, and for the Hausa, that soul continues to inspire pride and belonging across generations. Recently, World International Hausa Day was marked, and Kano became a rallying point for cultural bearers, scholars, and everyday speakers, united by the need to preserve a language that is not just communication, but history, heritage, and identity. From the rhythm of folk songs to the wisdom in proverbs, participants reflected on how the Hausa language has shaped their lives and continues to connect millions across borders. So, let's see how fluent Fatima Sanusi Kraye is in Hausa language. Fatima.
That is how fluent yours sincerely is.
World Hausa Week is celebrated annually to honor the Hausa language, its culture, and its profound contributions to communication, literature, politics, and society. With over 100 million speakers, Hausa ranks among the top 10 most spoken languages in Africa and is now taught in universities across the globe, including the United States, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. This year's theme, Hausa and Culture, the Foundation of the Community, reinforces the importance of safeguarding traditions and passing them to the younger generation. The case of Sabiu Muhammad is a clear testament of traditional Hausa culture of transfer of knowledge that helps in sustaining the economy and the sociology of Hausa society.
Honestly speaking, this occupation I inherited from my parents.
In Kano, the celebration featured vibrant display of traditional music, dances, and cultural performance that showcase the richness of Hausa heritage.
One thing that makes Hausa
acceptable is that Hausa is adaptive. Most or many of the words that are foreign, if they are assimilated into Hausa, they can be easily assimilated in Hausa. Secondly, Hausa is now the 11th most spoken language in the world.
Kasar Hausa, which means Hausa community, which extends not only from Nigeria to Niger, Ghana, Cameroon, but up to Sudan and some other parts of the Africa and the globe. So we are very proud of this day, and we hope that at our individual levels, at the community level and the governmental level, we work hard to see that we improve our commitments and contributions to the humanity.
The Hausa language continues to grow and thrive globally. It is therefore important to continue promoting and preserving the language at all levels, as it remains a strong pillar for community development in Hausa land.
I love the dance. So, Sanidi Aiki Fatima, Baraka Darana Hausa. I hope I got that correct, but if I didn't, I guess I'll keep nodding and smiling until the day I graduate. Anyway, well done. So let's move to Daura in Katsina State, where the celebration also resonated. Now, the ancient city regarded as the cradle of Hausa civilization. There, the event became a rallying point for unity, peace, and cultural identity through Hausa language and traditions. Hosseini Suleiman compiled this report for us.
The ancient town of Daura in Katsina State came alive with the rhythms of traditional drums and the warmth of its people as it played host to the 2025 World Hausa Day celebration. Beyond the colorful displays, the event was more than a festival, but a reminder of the value of cultural identity and the power of unity, providing a platform for people to connect, share ideas, and strengthen communal bonds. The celebration showcases the rich heritage of the Hausa people, from the graceful steps of traditional dancers to hunters and barbers, proudly demonstrating their age-old crafts, crowned by a mini Daura procession that brought history to life on the streets of Daura.
The whole essence of this thing that we are doing is to ensure that brotherhood and unity among the Hausa people.
To retain our culture wherever we find ourselves, because nobody will throw off his own culture and borrow from any other community.
What these occasions goes further to say is that Daura being the seat of power of the Hausa nation, Daura being the headquarters of every Hausa man in the globe, today we have seen it, that Daura is super secured. Daura does not experience any sense of harassment.
World Hausa Day is not just a celebration, but a reflection of the resilience, creativity, and global contributions of the Hausa people. It is a day to honor the past, appreciate the present, and inspire hope for a brighter future for generations yet unborn.
All right, now, in a ceremony steeped in Islamic tradition and cultural significance, Halima Junaid, the first granddaughter of former President Muhammadu Buhari, was joined in marriage to Walid Shehu Muazu in Kaduna. It drew presence of dignitaries, including Vice President Kashim Shettima, who had the honor of formally giving the bride's hand in marriage. But beyond the celebration of love and the union of two families, the occasion reflected the enduring influence and heritage of former President Buhari, whose values continue to resonate. Here is Mohammed Umar Ajengi for Newsline.
The journey of a lifetime begins here at Yahya Jumat Mosque in Kaduna, as two souls were joined together in marriage. Family, friends, and dignitaries, including the governor of Kaduna State, gathered here to witness this historic occasion. Halima Junaid, the beloved granddaughter of former President Muhammadu Buhari, was joined in marriage with the man she has chosen to spend the rest of her life, Walid Shehu Muazu. The Vice President Kashim Shettima performed the honor of giving the bride to the groom's representative after the payment of 500,000 naira dowry.
I consider the husband extremely lucky to have somebody like Halima, and I'm also elated to have the honor of His Excellency the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, to be here on this occasion.
We pray for them to have a livelihood, good livelihood, for the husband to be honest enough.
You should have no worries. I know it's not easy leaving your father's house to come and live with almost a stranger, but not anymore. I'm her husband now, so she should have no worries. She's in safe hands, and inshallah, Allah will guide us through.
It's a day that we'll be waiting for. It's a blessed day. I wish Walid a happy married life.
The celebrations then continued at a grand reception held in honor of the couple of the moment. The ceremony was concluded with heartfelt prayers and best wishes for a joyful married life and the blessings of children.
Alhamdulillah, we are really happy for this great occasion of Amira and Walid.
There are more to come, inshallah, and I'm wishing them all the best.
I will advise her to be patient, to always be patient.
I wish her a happy married life. I wish that Allah blesses her new home and He guides, protects, and blesses her always.
Lots of peace, joy, happiness. Lord, I just wish her everything good, and I pray that Allah blesses their marriage. So far, so good.
All right, birthdays are milestones that go beyond counting years to celebrating a life of impact. Now, such was the mood in Jos, where family and friends and, of course, associates gathered to honor Elias Mairabu, a businessman and community mobilizer, as he marked his 80th birthday. Now, the event was filled with tributes, gratitude, and fond memories, highlighting his resilience, entrepreneurship, and commitment to community service. Priscilla Gurumnam was there.
It was a moment of joy as family, friends, associates, and well-wishers gathered for the celebration of the 80th birthday of a businessman, community mobilizer, and a friend of all, Elias Mairabu. The event commenced with the ushering in of the celebrant and his family members. Words of exhortation came from Reverend David Puffy, who urged the gathering to rejoice with those that are rejoicing. While congratulating the celebrant for the milestone, he urged him to remain prayerful and have faith in God.
We need to reflect
on our relationship with God. We need to reflect on our relationship with our spouses. We need to reflect on our relationship with our children. Children need to reflect on their relationship with their parents.
Speakers at the event described the celebrant as a man of wisdom and integrity whose contribution to the development of the society is immeasurable.
He is a mentor, an advisor, and certainly one you can approach in all honesty, and he will give you a very, very decent and very objective advice.
And thankful to God for his long life and how God has kept him in health. And we're just really thankful and very excited to be celebrating him at 80.
The founding president of Okobo on the plateau of Nigeria. And he has labored so much for us. And he handed over a legacy to us.
He has always been somebody that has guided me personally. His advice has always been sound.
I feel great, and it's God's special grace. Obstacles will always be there, but when you prepare yourself, you will certainly scale over those hurdles.
Let's come out and celebrate Baba Elias at 80. Let's come and celebrate.
The event ended with prayers for the octogenarian and his family.
It was also a very beautiful and colorful outing that showcased rich Yoruba culture when family, friends, and well-wishers gathered in Lagos for the marriage of Moshope Keisha, daughter of the Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State, and her heartthrob, Oluwatobi Odulaja. The traditional union was indeed a sight to behold, and Diane Ajale, of course, was there to capture all the thrills and frills for Newsline.
The beautiful thing about love stories is when the parties involved decide to nurture it to the level of together forever. The marriage ceremony between Moshope and Oluwatobi commenced with the traditional rite where parents of Toby paid homage to the family of Olukorede Keisha, presented the marriage proposal letter from their son Oluwatobi with the presentation of various food items in fulfillment of the Yoruba marriage rites. In acceptance, Keisha and his wife wholeheartedly handed over their daughter Moshope to their in-laws, after which the ceremony climaxed with a grand reception in their honor. Of course, the bride and her father had their moment on the dance floor, and it was emotional. Then came mother and son dance. Parents who could not hide their joy offered words of advice and prayers.
I'm grateful to God for all that He has done for me. The advice I'll give them is, number one, to hold on to God. To let the tenets of the Bible, tenets of God, be their guiding principle.
I dramatically told her that the respect you have for me, translate it to your husband. My prayer is that God will be the cornerstone of our marriage.
I'm happy because she's a good girl. I love her. I have all boys, and God is just giving me the daughters I don't have.
God in His infinite mercies will give them the wisdom they need to cope in marriage.
Good wishes were not in short supply for Moshope and Oluwatobi.
Our prayer is that their union will be fruitful.
May the Lord bless them, keep them, make them friends and lovers all the days of their lives.
For the couple who met 5 years ago during their National Youth Service Corps, taking their relationship to the next level and making it official before their parents and guests is the best thing that has ever happened to them.
I've gained a complimentary friend, very determined man,
a very confident person, a very thoughtful person, you know, someone who is very caring and loving.
She has the personality. You've probably been with her now for about 1 minute and you probably already love her too. That's the kind of person she is.
Moshokpe is an engineer, while Toby is an accountant by profession.
See what NYC can do? All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Courtyard of the district head of Gezawa in Kano State came alive with color and culture as heritage and tradition found expression in the solemnization of marriage in line with Islamic rites. It was a moment of joy and continuity as the family of Major General Ahmed Tijani retired. Special advisor on technical matters to the Minister of Defense joined in matrimony with the family of the late Muhammadu Aminu Yusuf, former district head of Gezawa. The union between Ta'arif Tijani Jibrin and Sauda Ado Aminu weaves together two respected lineages, blessed in the presence of faith, tradition, and community, from palace dignitaries to family and friends. Muhammad Ibrahim was there.
The ceremony drew dignitaries from across Nigeria, including the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badr Abubakar, as well as several serving and retired senior military officers. In line with custom, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badr Abubakar, stood in as a representative of the groom and received the bride from Dr. Yakubu Abdurrahman Kofar Mata after the payment of 200,000 naira as dowry. The marriage was officiated by Imam Ibrahim Habib and witnessed by family members, elders and guests. Later in Kano City, a dinner reception brought together family, friends and associates of the couple. Well-wishers described the wedding as a moment of joy and a reminder of values that hold families together.
I have seen the respect, the togetherness, the building family relationship that exists among the military.
Each of them should be able to understand and accommodate the character of the other. Cooperation, prayers, and patience, they are the key words in any marital affairs.
Our prayer here, we show God give them long life and prosperity.
I know that it's an Herculean task to face marriage, but what is important, the happiness behind it and the blessing we are hoping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bestow on the marriage supersede everything.
I feel very happy, very delighted and excited, like any mother will do.
Promise you she is going to be a promising child. She's going to be a promising wife.
Now that she's married, I know that she will be humble to her husband.
I hope for new beginnings, happy life with my wife, and just to have a great future.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all the love.
The wedding party of Tarif Tijani Jibrin and Sauda Adu Aminu thus stood as more than a union of two households. It reflected faith, responsibility, and community, family rooted in Hausa tradition.
All right, this is Newsline on the network service. Please don't go away. We'll just take a short break and we'll be right back. Wow, and as August quietly slips off the calendar, just like one who knows our time this evening on Newsline is fast spent. September creeps in politely, yet with gentle insistence, ushering in not merely a new month, but a quiet reminder that time, in its wisdom, always brings renewal and revival. And so, as we anticipate what the new month may unfold for us, let me thank you most sincerely for always making the NTA your choice. Whether you join us from the bustle of our cities or beneath the moonlight corners of your communities, we see you. And as you know, conversation never ends with the closing credits. So we'll be delighted to continue the conversation with you beyond the hard screen. So you'll find us on Facebook, X, that's formerly Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. And yes, on TikTok too. And NTA is within your reach, but never to be beaten. I am Claire Adelabu Abdurrazak. Good night, everyone.